It looks like we have a major update on Ricky Starks' contract status with AEW. Is Ricky about to leave AEW for WWE? Well, it looks like that day may be coming soon. We're going to talk about everything we know. When is Ricky's contract expected to be up? What could be on the horizon for Ricky Starks? How is he feeling about AEW? And so much more. We're also going to talk about a major return happening for AEW soon. All that and much more coming up right here in this video. So be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. All right, let's get right into it and talk about Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks has been one of the most talked about stars in AEW that has not been on television. Everyone was wondering, what the hell is Ricky Starks up to? What is going on with him in AEW? He has made a couple of appearances for some independent promotions. He made an appearance this past weekend at the MetLife Mall in New Jersey at Full Gear weekend of all times. For a GCW show, he was not at the Full Gear show as in on TV. He was backstage, which was a bit of a development, but we now are learning more information about Ricky Starks and his contract status. Here is the report according to FightfulSelect.com. Those that we spoke to say he hasn't been factored much into pitches or creative since then, but he remains under contract. We're told that his presence backstage at Full Gear was welcome. Fightful Select learned via numerous AEW sources that AEW had an option year for the spring of 2024, which they picked up. This extends Ricky Starks to stay into the spring or summer of 2025. Those that we spoke to have said that prior to the option being picked up, he was hoping to test the open market. Thus far, we have not learned of any plans involving AEW and Ricky Starks. Okay, that is a massive, monumental development. We now have a bit of a timeline for when Ricky Starks would, in theory, become a free agent. And that seems to be the summer of 2025, just a couple of months away now. Of course, Andrew Zarian of the Matman Pro Wrestling podcast, as well as Fightful's Beyond the Bell, did state on the show earlier today that around May is the timeline, so this matches up with his reporting as well. So Ricky Starks, it looks like his contract status is that he is under contract, but not for long. And if you look at, of course, we'll talk about that piece where it says he wanted to hit the free agent market and test the free agent waters. But his contract being up does offer him a massive opportunity to do just that. It offers him the opportunity to look at what's beyond AEW. And the fact of the matter is, Ricky Starks, according to the same FightfulSelect.com report, has been healthy. Ricky Starks has been cleared. He has been good. The creative just has not been there. He has not been on TV. And that it got to the point where now he's wrestling on indie shows because for whatever reason, he just cannot be on TV. There's something weird about this for sure. There's definitely something weird about it. I don't know what it is. Again, there's a lot of things you could speculate. You could speculate that Ricky is turning down creative. You could speculate that AEW, for whatever reason, kind of sees him as a person who's out the door maybe. And at this point, it's just like, why would I bring you back in to give you a shine before we all know you're going to leave for NXT or WWE or whatever. So it's a very, honestly, it's a horrible situation as far as, the wrestling goes, because I'm a huge fan of Ricky Starks. I love Ricky Starks. I think one of the biggest fumbles that AEW's had is Ricky Starks. If you look at his rise in AEW and the potential that he had to really be a force in that company, it's insane that he never got to the point where he would show that. It's insane he never got to a point where that was a realistic thing. There were spurts and bouts of stardom that shine through that feud he had with MJF was amazing. I thought he cut one of his best promos ever. I'm going to take the responsibility off your plate, little boy. He, of course, had a really, really good feud with CM Punk in the summer of 2023 when he won the Owen Hart Cup. And that was supposed to be paid off with a match at All Out that just never ended up happening for the Real World Championship. And you could have made an argument that Ricky was probably going to win that. Yet here we are. He won the tag team belts with Big Bill. And ever since then, he's just not been on TV. So very weird stuff. And it's sad because in all of this, like the star, Ricky Starks, is like, you know, not on TV. And he's one of the best that AEW has to offer. Genuinely. I genuinely believe that. And that's why, like, I think when he does hit the free agent market, reportedly in the summer of 2025, no brainer for him to go to WWE. Not just because of, you know, the connections he has there. I think people have connections in every company. That's like less so of a factor at this point. I think it's like, look at Kevin Owens, for example. Kevin Owens, his best friends are, you could argue, all in AEW, right? Adam Cole, the Young Bucks, people he's very close to, right? But he's not going to that company because at the end of the day, it's not just about where your friends are or whatever. There's other factors at play. It's where you fit into places better. It's where you trust the booking. And at this point, I think it's safe to say after, you know, listening to a little bit of the Chris Van Vliet podcast that Ricky Starks did, and also just listening to the inconsistencies between the two sides, AEW and Ricky Starks, over the last couple of months, I'm like, I think it's a situation where like AEW doesn't trust Ricky Starks and Ricky Starks doesn't trust AEW. And I think it just might be time for a clean break. And that's okay. It happens in pro wrestling. People need to stop being tribal about it. Ricky is going to go to WWE. I think he should be the king of NXT. I think he should dominate NXT for like a year. Have him come up to the main roster and build him up as a megastar, because that's exactly what he is. He has history with CM Punk, unfinished business with CM Punk. He has history with Cody Rhodes, unfinished business with Cody Rhodes. There's so much you can draw from with Ricky Starks and everything that has happened and the people that have been a huge influence and part of his professional wrestling journey before AEW and after. I think there's just so much there. Of course, he's also a great promo. He's also fantastic in the ring and capable of like leading people through like really good matches. So we'll see what ends up happening. Of course, Ricky, still has a couple of months. And the one thing I know about professional wrestling is never say never, because one moment you could think that someone's gone, that they're done, that they're leaving the company. And then the next moment it's like, oh, well, things worked out. And that's how professional wrestlings go. But that's just how the business is. But you know how else the business is? Expensive. I can tell you, the tickets these days that these companies are charging are really expensive. And that is why today I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you save some money. $20 off your first purchase from SeatGeek when you use the promo code RealTake. Here it is. SeatGeek is a sports ticketing app. I would argue one of the best, if not the best, sports ticketing apps out there today. They rate your tickets on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know precisely the kind of deal you are getting, whether you're going to a sporting event like football, NBA, or whatever, or you're going to a professional wrestling show, WWE, AEW, or whatever. SeatGeek has got you covered. And today, I'm going to help you save $20 off your first purchase. All you have to do is click the link in the description of this video, sign up for SeatGeek, and at checkout, use the promo code RealTake. That is RealTake, RealTake, and boom, you saved yourself $20 to put in your pocket, to spend on Chipotle, to spend in concessions, to not spend if you want, and that's your thing. Either way, that's $20 more you have the ability to control that does not count towards your purchase. So do yourself a favor. Go to SeatGeek, sign up, use the promo code RealTake at checkout, and save yourself $20 today. Link in the description. Well, now that I've talked about saving you guys $20, I'm also going to save you the headache of Googling and searching for information about our next story, that being a massive AEW return, because Adam Copeland is cleared to return for AEW. Here is the story according to PW Insider. Adam Copeland has been cleared for physicality, but is not expected to be back regularly with AEW until he is done filming for the second season of Disney's Percy Jackson, which Hollywood sources indicate is expected to wrap in January. So Adam Copeland, just recapping a little bit, has not been on AEW TV ever since he was forced to vacate the TNT Championship when he suffered that broken leg at Double or Nothing 2024. He suffered that at a high spot he did off the cage where he was trying to do an elbow, and where he was supposed to kind of land with his body, he landed on his leg. And obviously when that happens and you're like, 50 years old, sometimes things don't twist right, and he suffered a broken leg. Horrible injury, especially because I thought Adam Copeland at that point was having the run of his AEW career. Like he was having banger match after banger match. This is off of the match he had with Christian Cage on AEW Dynamite, where he won it in an I Quit match. He won the TNT Championship in an I Quit match. This is coming off of, obviously, that match he had with Malachi Black, where we saw Gangrel return at Double or Nothing. So, it sucked to see it at the time. It still sucks to this day that Adam Copeland isn't a mainstay on AEW TV, because I feel like he positioned himself as a real star on that show. And you could see he was having a lot of fun doing what he was doing in the ring there in AEW. And I think, obviously that will continue, hopefully in January at some point when he is cleared to return and he doesn't have any of those acting responsibilities. I think the question, is what do you do with Copeland when he does return? That's the bigger, more pressing question. And I think Copeland is there's obviously the way that you could go with, okay, maybe he goes for the TNT Championship. But I also think Copeland is uniquely positioned as a major star, a major Hall of Fame level star that is always going to be in your main event. And I think that there is a story to be told with him and Mox. I genuinely think that, because, these guys have had stare downs and things like that in the past where, with the Shield, I think there's a little bit of history there, but more importantly, Copeland is one of those guys who came into AEW and automatically picked up the flag, planted it, and was I'm a team guy, right? And Mox is obviously in doing the storyline where it's it's not about AEW. It's not about whatever. It's about professional wrestling or whatever the motivations are there. So I think there's a bit of story to be told there, and I could very well see a situation where you want a big feud for whether it's Grand Slam in February or whatever. I think Copeland Mox would be a massive, massive match for one of those big shows, and they would be a great program too, because those two will not miss. But we'll see, guys. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think about this. What do you want to see Adam Copeland do when he does eventually return to All Elite Wrestling? Also, let me know in the comments what you guys think about Ricky Starks. Is he WWE bound? Is he gone from AEW? Is he headed to NXT? Will he win the NXT Championship? Am I blowing smoke up your butt? I want to hear from you. Also, be sure, if you haven't already done so, to smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. And most importantly, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.